I mean, along the way, like, did everything just sort of work out, even though you were doing a little bit of this guerrilla style filmmaking? I mean, there must. I can't imagine that everyone just sort of left you alone and went, "Oh well, there's
the only
Michael Cera
time
making
that
a
I
movie."
felt that the guerrilla style could like get us harmed was with the Gypsies. There is a scene with real Gypsies, and I had to go and negotiate with them the week before. So I'm like, "Hey, listen, I'm making this movie where you guys steal this girl's earring." She's like, "No, we don't steal. What are you talking?" And they started harassing me. And I'm like, no, I mistook. Whatever. I'll be right back. And I rewrote the scene, so they wouldn't think that I would stereotype them as thieves or anything. And I'm like, listen. So this is how it goes. You offer this American girl, to read her poem, but you ask her for money, and she says yes. And then after you read her poem, she gives you a drawing. They're like, no, wait, she said money. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. She's fucking with you. She's scamming you. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. So then you pull her hair and you push her around. They're like, yeah, we'll do that. So that's how I convinced this the Gypsies leader to convince the whole tribe to be in it, right? And then we were shooting the scene. That's exactly what happened. They were pulling everybody's hair, and they were really fun to work with. But then, of course, they wanted more money that we'd had agreed. And I'm like, no, what do you mean? And she's like, it's a lot of us. $600 is not enough. I'm like, buy a trampoline, buy something for, like, you could all use or something, something fun, because they wanted to divide the money. I'm like, just buy something fun. Like
use the old trampoline argument.
Yeah, or like a PlayStation or something. No, and then they started chasing after me like they want to harm me physically.
Wow.
And I had to hide it. Yeah, that was like something
run.
that wouldn't happen in a movie that it's planned out.
And I want to play another clip in a moment, but just this movie, watching it, I found myself, and I think the audience that I saw it with, laughing a lot. But I don't know that I would necessarily call it a comedy. I don't know why, and correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, it sort of seems like it defies genre, and I sort of get the feeling that in general, as a filmmaker, that you sort of like that, or that is something that you generally are all about as a filmmaker.
I mean, to be completely honest, I feel that it's so much more difficult to do genre. It's like, it feels like life, it's not genre. Like, life is so full of drama and comedy and mystery and horror, even science fiction sometimes. And like, just like to make the exercise to exclude everything from it, to make it one thing, it feels like such a forced exercise. It's something that Hollywood started doing, and like people are just addicted to it, and studios are addicted to it, and there is like this underestimation of like audiences that they think that when everything is excluded, it's more easy for them to know what they're watching. But why do you need to know what part of life you're watching? It's just strange.
Right.
So it's not something that I purposely do. It's something that comes natural. And I think it's just natural to be like that. What's artificial is to isolate one thing and make a genre movie. That's what I think.